Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's time for Social Overload with Greg Trumbull, Jordan Schilling, and John Clarkson.
Hey, happy Halloween.
Episode 2.
Oh, we made it.
How you guys doing?
Guys.
Yeah.
Doing good. I'm just getting my candy ready for the kiddies.
Oh, big holiday doings.
Nobody ever comes to my house anyways. Don't go to that guy's house.
You're definitely the razor blade in the apples guy.
Yeah.
They could be
block.
because of the tombstones you keep out in your front yard year round.
Yeah.
It will tend to cut down on the crowds.
Yeah, mowing the lawn would help probably too.
Yeah, we got Halloween tonight. Be
Might
careful.
find
out
some
there.
lost kids in there.
Yeah, be careful out there, kids.
That's right.
I'm the guy that gives away toothbrushes.
Oh,
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm that jackwad.
Wow.
Okay, kids, don't forget to brush.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that gives away like the whole candy bar. I'm the awesome guy.
Did you guys ever, when you were trick-or-treating as a kid, come across a house that would just leave a dish on their front doorstep and say, take a few pieces, leave some for everybody else? Did you guys
Yeah,
ever have that happen to you?
That never works, right?
Right.
Oh man. That thing went right into my bag right away.
And then you trick them anyway because they deserve it. You know what?
That's lazy.
Yeah, like going
trick-or-treating.
to a restaurant and they have the need a penny, take one, have a penny, leave one.
Yeah.
That's kind of like that, but it just leaving dollars in there unattended. And
I always thought that was for charity. For people who need pennies.
I know I need some every once in a while.
Sure. Hey, John, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Do you vote generally?
Well,
I know
Greg,
you have very strong political convictions.
convictions. Yes, that's more from a matter of principle type thing. But
Sure. But I was
believe
just
it or
curious,
not, okay. If you're trying to start a conversation,
not
you're
to-
asking the right guy.
Not to put you on the spot.
We're not
but-
supposed to
have
talk
not-
about any of his
I did
convictions.
not vote in the last election, and you want to know why?
Why?
Because the political ads turned me off.
Yeah.
And this is 100% true. I did not vote. I'm not voting for any of these guys.
Yeah. What
Not
about
one
you?
of them.
What about you, Jordan? Do you generally vote, exercise your right?
I did. Last time,
Yeah.
and this comes to mind, is because I got the I voted thing, and I took a picture of it, and you busted me out because I was driving when I was like,
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you busted me out. I did vote. I got the sticker and wore it as a badge.
I just save my sticker and reuse it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I get all the credit.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Laminate it.
Maybe they should do more than just a sticker, though, if they really want to get a good turnout.
It's different. There's a whole different mentality, I think, when it comes to referring to politicians. Obviously, I mean, all you have to do is open up your Facebook and look at the rants on Obama, and somebody stubs their toe, Obama. Somebody does this, Obama. And it's
Ebola.
Obama, and yeah, he started Ebola. So, but I don't know. There was a Canadian, I think, that came out the other day, had an article about he was just in disbelief at how people trash Obama, and just it wouldn't have happened. Once upon a time, you voted for a guy, and if your guy lost, then you didn't like it that the other guy was the president. But then again, you didn't sit there and trash him.
That's what my
all
dad
the
taught
time.
me, yeah.
Yeah, we still have a country to run.
Right.
So if you lose, you get behind whoever did win, and you push forward and wait for your next chance to vote again, right?
Right.
But I'm not voting for a Canadian, Jordan, anyway. So
You know what? I'm not voting for a Canadian for president either, so...
I don't know. Maybe it's something in the syrup
never,
or
ever
something.
going to vote for a Canadian as long as I live in this here country.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mark my words.
Right.
Yeah, it's Obama's fault anyway.
There you go. He's blocking us.
And then next time we'll be saying it's Hillary's fault or whoever else is going to be running. Or...
Alex Jones is the go-to guy for all
It's
those.
Alex
those
Jones's
things.
fault.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Speaking of Canada, there was the shooting the other day, and there was the soldier that was killed. And now there's this person, and I can't quite remember who it was, but they said, "Oh yeah, a shooting in Canada, or what we call in the United States Wednesday, or whatever like that." And she is like under fire big time because of this.
Yeah.
And I kind of see both points on this. What's your guys' views on that?
Well, since was it a statistic, and I shouldn't quote it unless I know exactly what I'm talking about, but just roughly like 80 school or 80 what do they call them now? Public mass shootings, or because they don't just happen in
Mass
schools.
shootings.
Mass shootings.
Yeah.
Like 80 of them in the last decade,
Right.
which is just
Well,
That seems like that's probably enough there
So, I
for
mean-
about 10 podcasts on that thing.
Yeah,
But,
I mean,
why?
she got in trouble for saying it, but you know what? Maybe I don't know. Is there some
If the shoe fits,
some kind of truth to it a little bit?
right.
I'm not even going to state whether I agree with her or not. I mean, I just think people shouldn't let themselves get all up in arms about that. Just move on with your life, man. She said something semi-controversial, big deal.
And that kind of leads in even to the political ads. If a candidate got a ticket back in 1980, for speeding and got into an argument or something with the officer and got arrested, 30 years later it comes out in a political ad and people actually respond to it.
Oh, yeah.
They do it because it works, which then falls back on we the people. But, political ads, they just...
Well, plus that goes against my main criteria for voting for a candidate, which is, would I have a beer with this guy? Would you want to sit there and have a beer with a guy that's that negative?
Well, okay, here's the thing about the beer thing. That's always been a criteria. Like they say the guy that's going to win the presidency is going to be the guy that people want to have a beer with, which ended up being George Bush. And look what happened there.
Well, yeah.
Maybe...
A good friend of mine used to live in Texas when former President Bush was, at the time, Governor Bush, and he was in Austin. My friend was in Austin, and he was around the Capitol area, and he went up to a hot dog stand and went to get a hot dog, and there was a guy standing next to him, and the guy standing next to him said, "Oh, I'll get that." So he bought my buddy a hot dog. My buddy looks over, and it was Governor Bush. He bought him a hot dog.
Really?
So maybe he is the guy you want to have a beer with, or
he said, "Don't worry about it. You'll pay for it later."
yeah, right.
Oh no, I'm not going to say.
So I don't know if that theory actually.
No, I have a lot of guys I like to have beers with that I would not elect for president. So yeah, I probably should change my stance a little bit, maybe.
The guy that you like to do Jaeger bombs with. That's the new criteria.
Yes, he's the
guy we're going to go for, or girl. Or
sure.
woman.
Hey, you know what? Yeah. So you listen to all these political ads, and they're that a lot of them are almost trashy, and they're mudslinging. But Social Overload, we're a new podcast, and of course, while money is not the motivation behind this podcast, money certainly helps. And of course, we're always looking for sponsors and running ads for people. And maybe it is possible that we have taken some political ad money to run some political campaign, just
you got to do what you got to do.
Just before the election,
I can neither confirm nor deny.
we may have lowered ourselves, to get on some of that cash.
Yeah, we pretty much did. Let's go ahead and get our 2 cents.
Pay the bills, get that out.
All right, here it is. Here's our very first sponsored ad.
Senator Dudley Twerkenstein has been talking a lot about a lot of things lately. Senator Twerkenstein claims that he is pro-healthcare. But Senator Twerkenstein doesn't want you to remember that he donated $57,000 in an effort to purposefully cause people to forget about Alzheimer's research. No one will argue that Senator Twerkenstein is a proud father of 4 beautiful children, but did you know he funneled over $19,000 of money originally earmarked for poverty-stricken children into an offshore bank account? He used the proceeds to pay for his 9-year-old daughter's twerking lessons. Senator Twerkenstein has been married to his wife Kathy for over 30 years. But what he doesn't want you to know is that in 1997, while serving as the state's attorney general, he spent $43,000 of taxpayer money on a team of Yugoslavian chainsaw juggling monkeys for his wife's 50th birthday party. Senator Twerkenstein, out of touch with the elderly, children, and families, but in touch with Yugoslavian chainsaw juggling monkeys? How can we trust Twerkenstein? This November, vote for Rodney Twistabooger for senator.
Well, hi, y'all. I'm Rodney Twistabooger, and I approve this message from me to you.
Hello, I'm Senator Dudley Twerkenstein. Now, my opponent, Rodney Twistabooger, has accused me of many false accusations that simply aren't true. He says I'm anti-pro health care for the elderly, but did you know that while he was mayor of Johnstown, he confiscated over $66,000 in bingo equipment, which he later sold on eBay to fund illegal gambling on underground squirrel races? And I'll tell you something else about Rodney Twistabooger. He can talk all he wants about my kids, but what he won't tell you is that in the summer of 2003, he hired a team of 8 4-year-old Lebanese boys to landscape his yard and paid them in generic Cheetos, expired Girl Scout cookies, and those free lollipops that you get at the bank. Now, I love my wife, Kathy, and we've been married for over 30 years. And I admit that I bought those Yugoslavian chainsaw juggling monkeys, but I certainly didn't spend $43,000 like my opponent would have you believe. And in fact, I got a good deal on those monkeys, and I donated the money that I saved to a shelter in Yugoslavia for amputated monkeys. I'm Senator Dudley Twerkenstein, and I approve the hell out of this message.
Paid for by citizens to re-elect Senator Dudley Twerkenstein, United States Senator.
Senator Dudley Twerkenstein talks a lot about things he's been saying lately. But what you really should know is that during the 14 years that Twerkenstein served in Congress, he introduced 12 separate pieces of legislation in favor of giving the United States of America back to the Indians. Not Native American Indians, Indians from India. Twerkenstein says a lot about fiscal responsibility, but did you know that he illegally laundered profits from his domestic cat taxidermy business through his 9-year-old daughter's lemonade stand to avoid paying over $77,000 in taxes? Despite repeated questioning, Twerkenstein has never once come forward to confirm nor deny the allegations that his attempts at stem cell research on genetically modified Yugoslavian chainsaw juggling monkeys inadvertently has caused the 2014 Ebola outbreak. Senator Dudley Twerkenstein, when life hands him lemons, he launders them through his 9-year-old daughter's lemonade stand.
Hi, y'all. It's Rodney again, and I just wanted to let you know that I vote that you vote for me.
All right, now let's get real here, people. We all know who's going to win this race, and it ain't going to be no fancy pants, mouth-breathing city slicker like Rodney Twistabooger. Forget all the talk about these so-called issues like health care, taxes, and welfare reform. I may not be the best quote-unquote politician, mathematician, or magician, or person in general, but I can assure you that when you beautiful people re-elect me to my 5th term, I promise the voters that I guarantee to throw the biggest re-election party the state has ever seen. I mean, there's gonna be lots of twisting and plenty of twerking, square dancing and circle jerking, cake stands and a kick-ass band. Oh, and I almost forgot. And the fanciest genetically modified Yugoslavian chainsaw juggling monkeys you can shake a dollar at. This November, vote for me. I'm Senator Dudley Twerkenstein, and you damn well better believe I approve this message.
Paid for by citizens to re-elect Senator Dudley Twerkenstein, United States Senator. And may God have mercy on your souls.
Welcome back. Hey, we just want to take a couple of seconds and first of all, thank you for listening to this podcast. This is the 2nd episode. Thank you for all that have joined us and followed us on our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/social overload. That is where you can find us the easiest and the quickest at this point. So thank you for coming along, and thank you for submissions for Facebook Drama Theater, which will be coming up here shortly. Just, thank you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Well, a lot of podcasts to choose from, and we're glad that you're choosing this one. So we hope you keep coming back. So any comments, questions, concerns, by the way, you can message us on that Facebook page.
And we know when you cheat on us with other podcasts.
We do.
We're watching.
But we're not jealous.
No.
We're not, really. Maybe a little bit. Hey, we've been talking to Reverend Robert, international blues man extraordinaire, and we're going to get into right now the second part 2 of the conversation with Bobby Reynolds.
Please do.
Social overload.
See, so you've got so many different facets to you. We've got to, for the sake of time, because we could probably do like 10 podcasts with you, Bobby. We're going to take people around the world with you. You just did study, like John said, in India. We'll get back to maybe the blues here in a little bit, but tell us about your India trip.
Yeah, it was amazing, and it started with just the idea of I don't remember. I was reading something, just one of those books that kind of
a travel brochure.
Just kind
Visit beautiful India.
It was.
You just watched Slumdog Millionaire, didn't you?
That was it. Yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah, and I just wanted to see if it really looked like that, and it does. No, but it's just about when you find people that really inspire you, you act like you're so disconnected from them, and most people just would never even try to just contact them. And so I thought, well, who would I want to do that with? And I've just the guy's name is Debashish Bhattacharya, and I've listened to him for several years, and just an amazing. He plays traditional Hindustani music, like most people would know. Ravi Shankar
Sure.
would be about the only name they would know, but he, that's his roots.
Isn't that's Nora Jones' dad, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yes. She's quite nice on the eyes.
Yeah. And I'm not sure she claims him. I don't know the story behind that.
Yeah,
but
there's a little
yeah.
disconnect there. Yeah. No, this is interesting to me because, this is being social overload. That's a very old school thing to do. Way back when you had mentioned that you had a friend, or way back when there was a time when people would go study with people, and you said you had a friend that was a luthier that you'd met that brought you to England. Well, you would have, the guy, obviously I want to go learn from the best, Stradivarius or whatever, and you want to go learn his craft. And that's basically what you did. So you kind of married the new technology with probably did you send him an email or?
It was a letter.
Yeah. I
Carrier
just
pigeon.
Yeah, I just sent an email and sent him a few. I mean, he got back to me fairly soon and basically just said, yeah, come on over. And
Sure, come over.
so I went over. He has a school there, and when he's not touring, he's there and he teaches locals, just like lessons would be here. They come once a week, and they do lessons and stuff. And he gets a few international people. I got to hang out with a couple other people from other countries while I was there a little bit.
And you lived in this house, right?
Yeah, it was where he originally lived. Now he's moved, but it's 3 levels. It's in Calcutta. There's 3 levels, and the school was just one room at the bottom. I stayed in the middle, kind of. It was an apartment. Not a lot there. No hot water, and I slept on a board basically. And then
Not a Hyatt.
Yeah, and then his parents lived upstairs. They still lived upstairs, and so he
Must
he
have been
came.
awkward.
So he came every day, and we I'd play a few hours, and then he would come and we'd do lessons for a couple hours, and then I'd play a little while longer, and then either I would just walk around Calcutta at night and just check things out, or once in a while he had shows. And that was great because a few times I got to go and I would open up for him at the shows.
Oh, wow.
And the people in India are really, really they're really honest, and they love blues music, but they don't like blues singing.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Explain that a little bit further. What do you mean by that?
They're really into the clarity of voice, and so just any of the roughness or whatever, to them is just a flaw in
The
your
stuff
singing.
that we like.
Right.
The stuff that we hold on to, the raspy kind
Yeah.
of.
They don't have whiskey over there in India, right? I mean, I think that might be part of it.
Not much. But that's a funny story because I was there for a while and there was no beer around, no alcohol. And a few times I'd asked about, getting a beer or something. And people just kept saying, well, it's not really a part of the culture here. People don't really drink much. And finally I was there on my birthday and there was a guy there from England too. And he really liked to drink beer and stuff too. And he said, what's your birthday? We got to find some. And so we asked around, and we found out there was a small liquor store about a mile down the road one direction. So we walked down there, and it's this little tiny place with some bars on the window where you could just walk up and get the package. And they had a line of people like 200 foot down the road.
Damn. Guys, let's go open a liquor store in India.
Yeah.
Screw this podcasting.
There you go.
And it was awful. It was terrible. They have their own Budweiser and Foster's that they brew right there, and it's like normal Budweiser and Foster's, which isn't great anyway. And then they just add a bunch of sugar to it. It's just really, really sweet.
I could see that with them. With the, I'm surprised they didn't add some mint to it. Like they have their own taste for sure.
Yeah.
So they add sugar to it.
But I drank it.
Well,
anyway.
yeah, you muscled through for your birthday. Good for you.
When in India.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Windia, yes.
But yeah, so it was an amazing experience. He is I mean, not just amazing at what he does. He's the best musician I've ever been around, and such a great person.
See, that's so admirable. Like I'm trying to think now. Now I have to come up with who I want to go. Like who is the master of the craft of Greg? Maybe we should go study podcasting with somebody. What do you think?
I'm all for it.
So you go and you get this guy that's like, I can't believe that you can just do this in this day and age. And you find him and you live in his house, and that experience is just, anytime that I've ever gone to Hollywood to some of the actors that I've really, wanted to, they don't answer, so I hop the fence and I end up in their bedrooms and stuff, and I just get in trouble. It's a lot of like red tape, and then I end up in court. But
And none of them, it's not like any of them mentor you and teach you how to act.
No, well, I just figured if I was around their surroundings enough, I could kind of like figure it out.
But you had the fortitude and the courage to break into their homes.
Right.
And they're not even generous enough
is
to
also
teach
A
you.
lot of people don't have that courage, Jordan.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
It's true.
Well, and then after getting my pants snagged on some barbed wire and different things, like I thought, you know what? Maybe an action picture is what I need. So, I'm kind of in the, or a stunt man.
And by the way, famous people with huge fences and security, enough with the Dobermans already. They hurt.
right. Like we get it.
So just stop it.
We get it.
You don't want us in your house.
Right.
So with this, what were the lessons like with this guy? Did he hit you or cane you? Or
No. He was absolutely.
did he starve you? Was it?
He was absolutely great, and the lessons sometimes would be really long, but
Like marathons?
well, a couple hours.
tantric
A
sex.
lot of times, it would really depend. Sometimes it was always around lunchtime, and so we would have
He withheld
anywhere
food.
from a half hour. Yeah, anywhere from a half hour to 2 hours. Then we'd have lunch, and then we'd do another one afterwards, and just varied a lot.
So it was like a hunger strike.
But right. No, I wasn't short of food. I had amazing.
Bobby, I think you
food
should
while
just
I
tell
was there.
Greg that he starved you, man.
Right.
I think that's what he
Yeah.
wants to
That's what
hear.
Greg wants to hear.
Am I stereotyping?
Let's give the people a little bit of flavor from India. Not the sugar beer, but let's give them a little bit of flavor and show them.
No, let's give
a
them
little
sugar
bit.
beer.
Well, yeah, you can have a sugar beer if you want,
Give-
or you can
give
have
the
a
people-
you can have a beer without any sugar in it. While you're listening. And meanwhile, Bobby will take you over to India.
Was that a sitar?
Play sitar.
Greg is
Play sitar.
No, contrary to what people think, there are a lot of other instruments in India besides the sitar.
Well, that's disappointing.
And I actually did not hear one sitar while I was there.
but they all hit him right when you got there.
I guess I should explain that. Debashish is a guitar player. He plays traditional Hindustani music, but he plays lap style slide, which is all I did while I was there. And I'm not playing lap style right now. I just found, honestly, I'd practiced that way. But then before the England trip, I realized I can't carry 3 guitars. And so I'm just going to have to learn how to do all this stuff with a bottleneck, which is what I'm doing here.
So when you were practicing, were they holding the sandwich over your head while they were not letting you eat it?
Yes, a roast beef
that the-
sandwich. Yeah.
Can you
That's
do that
very
in
highly
India?
blasphemous.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
let's
actually, here's the thing about Bobby, though. I mean, of course, the three of us know Bobby, and we've been to a lot of his shows and things. He's not just a great musician, but he's also an historian for what he does, and so he knows just his knowledge is.
Well,
I
and
bow
that-
to it. I just wanted to put that in there.
That's why, with the blues, I think earlier we were talking about the Delta, but as an overall, like kind of a catch-all, I think you've described your music as pre-war.
Yeah, because it's
Which one?
well, that's what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, pre-war is generally the term for pre-World War II, and yeah, and that's what draws me. I think what it is I love acoustic music. I love acoustic instruments. I love the sound just a lot more than the electric stuff. And the pre-war stuff is when, by necessity, things were acoustic, but it was dance music. so you have all the rhythm and things that have kind of went away. Like now, what they call folk music and the singer-songwriter thing sometimes can be sleepy,
Right.
you know.
Crying your
And-
beer.
Yeah, and then that pre-war stuff, whether it's blues or early jazz, or I've been really getting into a lot of Minto, which was early Jamaican music, and calypso.
Oh,
And,
the fresh maker.
Good candy too.
yeah.
Yes. Well, show us a
back to
little bit of
All right.
India here.
So yeah, I got to give just a little, not a warning, but
We can beep it out, Bobby. Don't worry.
well, no. The thing is, with a lot of this, to actually play a traditional rag like I worked on with him, and a lot of the techniques involved to play one, I spent a month there practicing well, and practicing 12 hours a day to learn techniques and ideas that go into a rag, and I still can't perform even a quarter of a rag. I mean, it's an incredibly complicated system of music that so I'm not going to do any traditional Indian piece here.
Well, especially on an empty stomach.
Yeah, right.
John, when,
Right.
when I tell you to get us a guy for the podcast that can do a whole rag, I mean a whole rag, not a quarter rag.
sorry.
Right. I'm not going to do a rag at all. I'm
You
just
know,
going to.
I had numerous responses to the Craigslist ad, and Bobby was the first one. You know, so I mean,
No, it's amazing. Anything you can do is beyond a lot of people around here. And so bringing it back to the Midwest, let's hear a little bit of that Indian flavor.
All right, I'm going to mix a little bit of it with some blues because that's
Great.
just what I know the best. So. I'm gonna buy me a penny, put 'em in my backyard. I'm gonna buy me a penny, put 'em in my backyard. When a stranger comes walking, he'll flap his wings and crow. Watch you war with a rooster, won't crow for days. Watch you war with a rooster, won't crow for days. What you want with a man that won't do nothing he say?
was beautiful. Wow. Very good.
We really want to thank Bobby Reynolds for taking time out to talk to us. Man, what an interesting kid.
Oh, yeah.
Kid, 40-year-old kid. But just his world travels and everything. Nice of him to come in and chat with us
I
about it.
think he wanted us to say he was 30, Greg.
I'm sorry. He, 30-year-old kid, just coming up in the business, trying to find his way.
Kid's got a lot of moxie.
A lot of potential in that kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hey, we're going to try and transition, as easily as we can to a little segment we like to call Facebook Drama Theater. Now, the key behind Facebook Drama Theater is that these submissions, this is coming from you guys. So thank you for those that gave us submissions for Facebook Drama Theater. Social Overload is the name of this podcast, and part of Social Overload is the overshare, people that just tell you maybe a little bit too much, and it's put out to everyone that's on their friends list. And so, we're just trying to overshare some of that with you on this podcast.
If we don't get to your submissions this week, then we will get to them next week.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
if we don't get to them that week, then they were probably not good.
That's, you know what? Yeah, we'll call you.
And we will not name your name either.
Yeah, we're
Your
not going to
identity
name
is
any
safe.
names, so we're not going to, our goal here is not to humiliate anyone. Our goal is to just bathe in the overexuberance of some of our Facebook friends.
And it won't be used as blackmail material at a later date.
At some point down the line, as soon as we think you have something we need. No, so here is Facebook Drama Theater.
Boom.
Welcome to another edition of Facebook Drama Theater. These are 100% real Facebook posts you're about to hear. The names of the oversharing, overly neurotic, and generally insane have been left out to protect us from them.
And this week on Facebook Drama Theater.
November 2nd, 1862. Dearest Facebook, my husband and I are fighting over my past status discretions. I said some things in the past that I shouldn't have said, and I apologize for that. I was in a bad place in my head at the time my husband was working 2 jobs just so he could have the car that we now have. I know it's not like me to bow down on my knee and ask for anyone's forgiveness, 'cause I'm as strong as an ox, bull-headed woman. But I am now to my husband. I never cheated on you, never will. I'm sorry for the stats in 2012 that hurt you, baby. I was alone, lonely, and depressed bad. You're a good man, a great father. I would say good friend, but you don't seem to have a lot of friends. You're a loner. You're an antisocial. Wish you were more sociable, like me. I love you. Loves you. We are your family. Facebook is a bad media site. It gets people in trouble. It also makes people fight. It brings drama into your life. If you're not careful, people lie on here a lot to get attention and to ruin people's lives. I'm sorry. November 22nd, 1862.
Welcome to the lifestyles of the crazy, overly neurotic, and oversharing.
The doctors want to put me on disability. I'm on a lot of psych meds for anxiety / panic disorder, insomnia, depression, mood behavior, OCD, and anger management. Besides the obvious, my body is breaking down. Too many surgeries and more to come. I'm on probation for my past, which is it. Just my past. Not who I am now. I have 200 hours community service to complete. I can't work. My probation officer knows this. So we came up with an idea for me to make flower and seashell pens at home and take them to donate at hospitals and nursing homes and spend time with the elderly, with children in need, give them all my time and a pen. And me making them at home counts as hours too, she said. I've got to count time, prices, all these things, all these materials. Easy. I'd like to donate time to a horse farm. I have experience with horses, after all, and farms. Tomorrow I get my weekly allergy shots. I think I'll grill out brats and veggies, fried taters and onions. If anyone's interested in any of them, give me a call. Anyone else interested in them flowers, butterflies, or seashell pens, let me know. Throw me a couple bucks, it's yours. The ones I donate are free to the people in the hospital and the clinics, etc. ... Sorry.
Tune in for next week's edition of Facebook Drama Theater.
And hey, you can catch us on Facebook at Facebook/Social Overload. And, we're going to be around.
Don't forget about sending in your overshares and your just insanely crazy Facebook people. We will perform their rants for you all, and we've got security outside, so they cannot find us and they won't find you. We do not use any names.
Yeah, that's true. We try and protect the crazy.
Right.
Especially we try to protect ourselves.
Yeah, mainly.
So, yeah, send us your submissions, and hey, you know what? If you dig the podcast, tell a friend. That's all we ask.
Yep.
Awesome. We'll catch you next week.
All I really care, just let me know.